Every day you go to work on your business, you have to decide, is this all for money or is there a greater purpose to all of this? And the business gurus will tell you that it's all about profit and scaling and systems, and those things do matter, especially in business. But what most people are missing is the very quiet force, which is how you see the work in the first place, how you see your business. Because if you see your business as something separate from God, even if it's perfect and profitable, it's leading you away from Him. Anything that doesn't lead you to God is leading you away from Him. And so today in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 mistakes that I have been making that were quietly destroying my own business, and you can learn from them or just completely avoid them, make your quick little adjustments. And the first mistake I've been allowing myself to make is that rest became a sin. And one quote that I saw on Instagram, actually, I'm not going to take credit for this. I don't know who said it or whatever. But what I saw is that if you feel like rest is a sin, then you have made work your God. And that kind of hit me in the face. It was a nice little gut check because I've been working nonstop, I think, this entire year so far. And it is by choice. I enjoy working. I love to work, and I do think what I do is a good thing, especially when what we do is we help people. But it did come in between rest and came in between church, and I never had to pick, because I get to talk about faith and finance and business at the same time. I never had to pick between the two. But the simple truth is that you can't give something that you don't have. If I am not at 100%, which is why we rest, which is why we have Sabbath, if I am not at 100%, I can't give 100% to somebody else. I can't serve somebody else at full capacity or with my full capability, because I'm not at full capacity. If I am not rested, if I'm treating rest like it's a sin, I have made work my God, and I can't fully commit to a real business. I can't fully commit to serving somebody else. And so Sabbath is important. Sabbath was made for man, not man for Sabbath. Which basically means, that's in the Bible, it basically means that God gave us Sabbath on purpose. Even as much of a ministry as Jesus lived, His life was a ministry, my business is a ministry, and I was using that kind of as an excuse to not rest. I was thinking to myself, well, what I do is good. I'm telling people about God and business and helping them understand all these different things at the same time, so it's a good thing. I shouldn't have to rest. I was using that as an excuse, but even Jesus rested. And I don't remember the actual verse or the passage, but there's somewhere in the Old Testament where I forget who it is, one of the prophets, and he's talking about how terrible life is and all these different things. And God basically said, the Father said, just rest, take a nap and eat something. And then he woke up and he was all good, and life wasn't so bad anymore. And so don't ever underestimate, and I'm speaking to myself, the power of rest, because you can't give something that you don't have. And the second one is, especially as I'm here in Costa Rica right now, is to never become ungrateful. As good as business might become, you can't ever stop being grateful for the little things. And it's not just like I'm not ungrateful, but you have to go out of your way to be grateful. It's an intentional act and it's as simple, again, as just saying thank you. And I have my own gratitude practices, which I stopped doing, but I truly believe that at the foundation of faith is gratitude. And gratitude is the language of God. And when you have gratitude, it's more important to be, not just to be thankful for the things that have happened, so the things in the past, but also the things in the present. Like, I'm in Costa Rica right now and I can hear the waves, and got my friend over there. We came together on our business trip together, and other people, everybody else over there. I'm grateful for the things that are happening now, but one thing that I stopped doing was being grateful for the things that haven't happened yet. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but in Proverbs it says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And where it also says in a different passage, where there is no vision, people perish. And so manifestation is a real thing, not in the way that you can just dream, say you want some money and God's going to send you a paycheck in the mail, but in the way that you're having faith, you're bringing your desires to God and you're thanking Him for it, even though it might not happen. That's what faith is. It's saying thank you. Whether or not you give this to me, I'm going to say thank you. I'm grateful. And as I smack the mosquitoes out of my face, it's being grateful for everything, not just the past, not just the present. Those are easy because you've seen them. The definition of faith is confidence in what you cannot see. It's also thanking Him for what will happen or what might happen. And that just requires a lot of faith. And one thing that we talked about in our meeting, when was it? Yesterday, was that the best part of life are the hard parts. The best part is not when you get to the end of it, when it's all easy, when you hit your promotion, that it's all easy, your business is doing well, you're profitable, you hit whatever metric you're looking for. That's not the best part of life. The best part is building it. It's in the hard parts, because it's in the hard parts where you're thanking God when it's still difficult, and you're still thanking Him. The best part is the hard part, because that's where you're forced to lean on God. In the winning, when you're already at the end, it's easy to say thank you. It's easy to do that. It's harder in the hard parts to look at God and tell Him thank you. But if we're not constantly grateful, and if we're not going out of our way to be grateful, then that's where greed sets in, and that's where you see people just, their businesses collapse when they get to the top. They lose themselves, they lose their family, they lose their happiness, their peace, their joy, they lose everything because greed sets in, because they forgot to practice their gratitude. It's an intentional act. It's not just something that, oh, when things are good, I'm going to be grateful. Like, yeah, obviously, that's the easy part. The hard part is being grateful even when it's not looking exactly how you want it to. But that's the second one. It's making sure that I am never becoming ungrateful. And it's not that I was ungrateful, I just wasn't intentionally grateful. And those are two different things. But the third one is don't be selfish. And this one's kind of a short one, but your success is not your own, or it's not just your own. It is yours, but it is also glory to God. It is also for somebody else, especially in a business like mine, where we help, my business, the way I do well is I help people get what they want. If I can do that, then I'm in a good spot. But there are other things, and I mean, you can relate this to anything, but if you're not giving, so the first part, if you're not giving glory to God, the success it will disappear. But the other thing is, how selfish is it to say, like, man, I made my money, you're on your own, especially to your own family, to your friends. The best business, a godly business, is one where I'm building myself by helping you build yourself as well, by helping you build your dreams. As somebody was saying this, the way he put it was basically, here, I wrote it down. I don't have it. He said, how selfish would it be for me to get my own success and just say, forget you guys, I got mine, I'm good. Let me ride off into the sunset. That's what he said. Let me ride off into the sunset. You guys figure it out on your own. It's a selfish kind of success. It is success, depending on how you measure it, but it's still selfish, no matter which way you measure it. You do have to take care of yourself, but it's not just about you. And as this guy was talking about this in our meeting, it reminded me of the passage of the rich young ruler, which people misinterpret a lot, where Jesus said to sell all of your possessions. The reason he said that is because Jesus was talking to the rich young ruler, and the rich young ruler basically asked him, hey, I'm perfect, how can I get into heaven? I've done all these good deeds, what else should I do to get into heaven? And Jesus said, there's only one who is good. And that wasn't enough for him, which is why he prodded him, like, no, what else can I do? And Jesus said, okay, if you're so perfect, go sell everything you have. You don't need anything else. If you're so perfect, you've got your own success, you haven't helped anybody else, go sell your possessions. That's the last thing you got to do. You got to sell everything that you have. It wasn't about the material items. Let's be clear about that. It was about the intention and about being selfish. He got his own success, but he never helped anybody else. That was the thing. That's why he told him to go sell everything. Go help somebody else. Okay, so that's the third one. Don't be selfish. And I don't think I was being selfish in any way. Well, no, maybe I was. I've been trying to get an office lately, and I even told the real estate agent, I was like, hey man, income's gonna look I mean, it is what it is, but I basically just sold whenever I needed to. I helped somebody whenever I needed to, which I guess is the definition of selfish. And so it is your obligation. Your success is not your own. As you help people, that's how you build yourself up. Go and help more people. Don't get to heaven and just say you didn't help anybody else but yourself. That's kind of the idea behind this mistake, if we want to call it that. The fourth one is compete. And this is in sports. This is in everything. This is in school. This is in business, and especially in our business, we do a lot of recognition, which is one of the best parts of our business. And you know what's funny? So when I say compete, I don't even care about the awards. I don't even care about the trophy. I even, if any of my 14s are watching this, I help coach volleyball. And the one thing that I tell them is, I don't care if you win or lose, just make sure you play well. Do whatever you can to compete as best as you can. If you do what you can do, then that's good enough. And the reason why I put this on here is because even as I was telling them, do what you can do, and even as I was saying that throughout the whole season, I kind of felt like a little bit deep down I was being a little bit hypocritical, because I'm great at sports, I'm great at like all these different things and whatever, but when it came to business, I just wasn't seeing the success that I wanted to see, and I wasn't doing everything that I could, and I knew that I could do more, which means that I should have done more, but I wasn't doing that. Hopefully that wasn't confusing, but the reason why I put it in this way, to compete, is because as we were giving awards here in Costa Rica, it was really the top of the top people, and so there is no shame in losing to those kind of people and not getting the awards. They're getting them. But the fact that I didn't get any, it felt like to me, I don't care about the awards, but the awards show that I'm doing something, or that I was doing more than enough, which is exactly what the goal should be. Competing is not just about coasting through life. It's not just about, I don't know how to say it, but it's just doing more than enough, doing the best that you can possibly do. And if you do that, that's good enough. But if you still lose and you did everything you could, that's okay. But deep down, I know that I'm not doing as much as I could. I'm not doing enough. I could be doing way better. And it's not that I'm like, even like all that I started with, if rest feels like sin, work has become your God. I wasn't resting, but I also wasn't being productive. That was the thing. I was doing what I wanted to do, and that was great, but it didn't lead to anywhere, obviously. Well, except for Costa Rica. This is pretty cool. So at least I made it here. But one thing is, it's not just about yourself. Being a competitor, being the person who just goes out and does everything that they can, that's the kind of person people want to be around. If you're going to build a team, if you're going to build a business, you need a team. You need to be able to work with people. And one thing that we talked about here is that the people around you, they need to feel like if they stick around me, if they stick around you, it's inevitable that we're going to win. If they just stick around long enough, we're all going to go up together, because we're just competitors. We compete to win. We compete to help more people. We compete for whatever it is. We want to do it well. And that's the idea behind this. It can't be a maybe. It has to be, if I stay around this guy, I know we're going to win. It has to be certain. That's the kind of person you got to be if you're going to win in business. And I have so many great examples, and I'm not taking advantage of it. I need to do a little bit more. And it came, one thing that somebody said, for the people, if like, man, this isn't fun anymore. Well, forget about you. Forget about yourself. Brushing is not fun, but it's just something you got to do. If you want to be healthy, it's just something you got to do. It's not fun. I don't know if I find I don't have the motivation anymore. It doesn't matter. It's something you got to do, and you don't wait for motivation to act. You act, and through the activity, you find your motivation. That's how a winner competes. That's how you should be competing. That's how you should be going through life. You don't wait for motivation. You go through it. You start doing it and find your motivation through that. And the last one, number 5, is to dream bigger, which is a very, all of these are so simple, but if I can just fix all of these, I just know, I don't know. I have no idea what my life's going to look like, because I know it's just going to change dramatically if I can fix all these things. And if you can do these things, I'm not just saying this as myself. I'm saying this as somebody who's received coaching from billionaires and millionaires all the time, and they all say the same thing. Not even in the same companies or the same coaches. They all just say the same thing. And so, I mean, they're making more money, so it's got to be true. But number 5, dream a little bit bigger. And this is one where in our business, I mean, really in any business, some people can't even imagine, like they can't dream of the fact that they might make $6,000 a month. They can't even dream of that. They're so used to where they're currently at that they forgot how to dream. And just like gratitude, if you don't practice your gratitude, you might not be ungrateful, but you're not intentionally grateful. You're not actually grateful. You're just neutral. You're just nothing. You're just there. And so the same thing goes for dreaming. If you don't practice your vision and your dream, it does disappear, and you can't imagine anything else better than where you currently are. Like, people come here, or they start in business, whatever business it is, doesn't even matter if it's mine or somewhere else or whatever it is. They see, oh man, these guys are making millions. Maybe I'll be able to pay my bills. Like, that's where most people are. They see other people winning, but then they think to themselves, maybe I'll be able to get the bare minimum. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. 1 + 1 = 2, and they're doing 1 + 1 = 0. And that's because we're not taught how to imagine or dream anymore. And when I said the gratitude practice that I was talking about in the second or the first one, whichever one it was, the gratitude, being able to say thank you for what has happened is easy. For what is happening, that's easy. For what will happen, that's a whole different thing, but that's how you dream. Thanking God for, you're saying, God, this is what I desire. This is what I believe. I'm in line with you, whatever it is. Thank you for this. Whether or not it happens, I'm going to act as if it has. I'm going to work as if it has. That's how you dream. That's how you gotta. Another reason why I came to Costa Rica is because you can't give what you don't have. You can't see what you've never seen. And so in Costa Rica, I've never been here to see other different types of life, see what other things are possible, just to touch your dreams just a little bit. It makes the world of a difference, and you got to get out of your vision board. If you're one of those people that just creates vision boards but you don't do anything about it, it's not going to go anywhere. You have the dream, but you need to apply the executional power to it. And that is part of the dreaming. But one thing I'm very big on is, if it can be done alone, your dream was never big enough in the first place. It should take a team of people to accomplish where you're going. That's why God has us in church. But we're there to support each other. And that is the best kind of business, one where you're dependent on each other. That's not a bad thing, to be dependent on each other. Know that you can leave without them. But like that cheesy or the cliche saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It is true, right? But that is the 5th mistake, is forgetting how to dream. And it, just like the gratitude, that should be part of your practice, your dreaming, your vision, your gratitude practice every day, every morning. Because if in business, we always hear it, you're supposed to sell the dream. But if you haven't sold the dream to yourself, you don't even know what your dream is, how are you going to sell it to somebody else? You cannot give what you don't have. There is a price for everything, but you got to go and touch your dreams a little bit and see what else is possible. Hang around the right people. That's how you do it. But I'm going to go enjoy the beach. My friend is somewhere walking around. I told him I'd be done in 15 minutes. Obviously that didn't happen, but I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.